Hey Sparks, and welcome to this episode of Greek tragedies that feel personally targeted. Today's story, a tale of grief, obsession, music, and one man's incredible ability to self sabotage. This is Orpheus and Eurydice, also known as When Emo Gets Eternal. If you've ever asked why do all the good ones always end in trauma, congratulations, you're on the right myth. So, who even was Orpheus? Orpheus was half a god, half a muse baby. He was the son of Calliope, the muse of epic poetry, and possibly the son of Apollo, also known as the sun daddy, meaning he came out of the womb already better than you. This man had divine blood, artistic flair, and emotional instability baked in from birth. His talent was music, not just the he plays guitar sometimes kind of music. No, Orpheus was the music. Trees bent toward him, rivers paused mid-flow, lions sat like house cats just to listen. He made grown men weep. He made gods rethink their choices, and literal rocks feel feelings. He was the ancient Greek equivalent of Billie Eilish and Mozart having a prodigy child. And naturally, with that kind of power, what does he do? He falls in love. Because what good is a tortured soul without someone to lose? And then there's Eurydice, a dryad, a forest nymph. Beautiful, mysterious, probably had a Pinterest board filled with mushrooms and moss. She and Orpheus fall in love. Deeply, instantly. Like, let's get married before anyone even speaks type of love. Now let's pause. You know the rule in Greek myths. If something is cute, it's cursed. If something is soft, it dies. So that's kind of the energy we're on. So they get married. Big day. Vows, petals, ambience, until boom. Out of nowhere, Eurydice steps on a snake. Not a metaphorical snake, a literal one. It bites her. She dies on her wedding day. Because Greek mythology doesn't care about your honeymoon plans. No, Orpheus is devastated. Shattered, and instead of pulling a Taylor Swift and just writing a heartbreak album and calling it a day like a functional creative, he decides he's going to storm the underworld. Not metaphorically, like physically. Walk into hell with his literal lyre and grief-ridden audacity. No, this isn't just some side quest. This is the underworld. It's guarded by a three-headed dog, filled with rivers of despair, and ruled by Hades, the one god who has zero interest in your feelings. But Orpheus starts playing, and suddenly the entire underworld stops. The Cerberus laying down like a good boy, the Furies crying like they just got ghosted, Hades and Persephone sitting there like it's an open mic night in Hell's Cafe. Orpheus delivers his speech, no begging, just raw music. He plays the pain of losing Eurydice note by note, string by string. No theatrics, no lies, just agony dressed as melody. And what do the gods of the dead do? They let her go. But there's the catch, because there's always a catch. Here's the deal. Eurydice can follow him out, but Orpheus cannot turn around to look at her until they've both fully existed the underworld. It's simple. No, like really simple, literally just walk and don't turn around. Now remember, this man charmed gods. He calmed monsters, he moved mountains, but this one thing that he can do, wait 10 more steps. They are walking. The exit in sight, light ahead, freedom. But Orpheus starts spiraling. What if she's not there? What if they tricked me? What if I'm walking alone like a clown? So, being the insecure ball of poetry that he is, he turns around. And just like that, she's gone. Dragged back into the shadows, not a word, not a scream, not even a goodbye. She dies. Again because he needed reassurance. Now Orpheus walks out alone. But this time there's no music left in him. He stops singing, stops loving, stops functioning like a human. He just wanders through the world like a cautionary tale. Women try to approach him. He rejects them all. Some versions say he swore off love, others say he started singing to the stars, trying to reach Eurydice's soul. But eventually he was killed, torn apart actually, by the Menods, the female followers of Dionysus, because he refused to join their parties. He kept preaching about emotional pain and played depressing music at all of their festivals, and it was honestly a mood killer. So they tear him, limb from limb. Some say his head floats down the river still singing, because apparently, even in death, he's still performing. Now here's where it gets mythologically poetic, because the gods, despite watching this man mess up everything, they still acknowledged his grief, his music, his tragedy. So what did they do? They placed his lyre, the instrument that made the gods cry, among the stars. And that's right, Lyra, the constellation, is named after Orpheus' lyre. Because if you're going to be the poster child for tragic love and self-sabotage, you might as well end up as a permanent cosmic decoration. So, now what's the moral? What are we supposed to take from this? That love can't fix grief? That talent cannot save you from emotional instability? That insecure attachment styles existed, even in ancient mythology? Honestly, it's all of the above. Orpheus teaches us that no matter how gifted you are, no matter how noble your intentions, if you cannot manage your fear, you will ruin your own happy ending. He didn't lose Eurydice to the gods, he lost her to his own doubt. Love didn't fail him, insecurity did. And that's the real tragedy. So Orpheus, the musician, the lover, the griever, a man who could play the lyre so beautifully it stopped time, but couldn't keep himself from looking back at one thing that he loved the most. Let this be a lesson. Sometimes the biggest tragedies don't come from the world being cruel. Sometimes they just come from us not being able to wait 5 more steps. Orpheus' story really is one giant metaphor for anxious attachment. It's like giving everything, needing reassurance in most critical moments, and accidentally losing what you love most because the fear of losing it consumed you first. He didn't get betrayed, he self-destructed from doubt. And that's a pain a lot of people don't realize they're living until they hear it in someone else's myth. That would be it for today. Drop a comment if you've ever turned around too soon. Literally or emotionally, we've all been there. And subscribe. Or don't. Unlike Orpheus, I won't look back.